Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Alicia George. In our top stories, geothermal production well flow test commences. St. Kitts and Nevis economic citizens split $22.5 million corruption payout. British High Commissioner to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean supports global summit to end sexual violence in conflict. And in sports, 30 selected for digital Kickstart Clinic. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. High-pressure steam shot up into the sky on Tuesday, June 10th in the community of Loda as testing began for the flow of the production well for the Geothermal Project. Alexis George, project officer of the Geothermal Project Management Unit, said this test will allow them to measure the generation capacity of the well.
We commenced around 9:27 this morning, allowed the gas cap to be released. At about 9:35, we started seeing steam and hot fluid coming up to the surface. So far, everything has been going quite well. That gas cap was released faster than we anticipated. Now the well is only about 10% open, so it's not even fully open yet, and we have a lot of steam and a lot of hot fluid coming up. So it looks to be a very, very good production so far.
George stated this test will carry on for 6 days, during which they will collect the necessary data needed to determine the next step of the project. The testing will also allow them to gain knowledge on the size, type, and design of the geothermal plant and surrounding facilities. He noted critics of the project should notice that it has been incident-free since drilling began in 2011.
This is the fourth test and well test that we'll be doing, and so far it has been successful without any incident, and all the concerns that some person had, it hasn't come to pass. I mean, everything has been going quite well, so I think that we have a gift here in Dominica. We have the natural resource, and I think that we should try to exploit it.
He noted only 6 homes within the exclusion zone were evacuated for the exercise. Building on Dominica's low-carbon strategy, the World Bank, in collaboration with the government of Dominica, through the Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources, Physical Planning and Fisheries, have come together to implement a disaster vulnerability reduction project. According to Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, US $38 million, EC $108 million, is designated to the project aimed at establishing policies and strategies to improve the capacity to prevent disasters and adapt to climate change.
We are most grateful for the grant component from the CIF in an amount of US $12 million. We are also happy that the Strategic Climate Fund loan of US $9 million and the IDA loan of US $17 million are highly concessionary. As a matter of fact, both interest rates stand at 0.5%.
Alessandro Legrotali, senior officer for OECS and Barbados at the World Bank, says this project will address disasters, one of the main challenges in Dominica.
As you know, disasters have a negative impact on the livelihood. They destroy houses, infrastructure, and more important, they undermine also the capacity of the government to deliver basic services to the most vulnerable segments of the population, which usually live in the most remote and most exposed areas of the country.
This, he says, often has negative implications on government finances, particularly when there is limited fiscal space. He believes, however, that the government has already done a lot to equip itself over the last 15 years.
I mean, we are going to strengthen the relationship with the government of Dominica after a period in which, particularly on the lending side, we were not active. And our expectation is that this project will really set the basis for even a stronger engagement in the future.
The senior officer pledged the World Bank's commitment to the project. The pilot program for climate resilience, PPCR, and the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, DVRP, is in pursuit of low-emission climate resilience. The 5th annual Jazz and Creole Festival hit a high note this year as crowd numbers rose with performances by award-winning musicians and singers. The main stage event held on Pentecost Sunday saw acts such as Jacques Schwartz Bar Trio as well as Brave and Eighth Note, two local bands who gave outstanding performances.
I can recall my desire, every reveries on fire, and I got a picture of all my yesterdays I can say, I'm gonna kick every time I see that's great again.
Brev also played backup for soul singer Dominican-born Heston Francis, who was more than happy to have come back home to perform.
And you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? See, if I worked my hand in wood you still want me? Carrying the pots I made, following behind me. Say, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Francis, who lives in Atlanta, has topped the European charts with his album Warm Human and recently released his latest album Love Junkie. Other performances were that of Marlo Rosado and headliner Angelique Kidjo. A number of students, teachers, parents, and coaches were on Friday, June 6, exposed to a new method of teaching STEM subjects such as science and mathematics. The group was part of a workshop facilitated by Dr. Rebecca Clem, better known as the Numbers Lady, who is also the creative and executive director of Numbers Alive, a creative tool for learning. Dr. Clem's system uses innovative, engaging pedagogies to assist children in learning various subjects, explaining the principles of math and science through sports.
Why do goalkeepers come forward out of the goal? Any of you ever been a goalkeeper? Been a goalie? All right, let's see. Let the angles. So you come forward to reduce the shot angle, but one of the things that I think would be good for you to try out, because if you come too far, what's going to happen about the goal? You know, they're going to get behind you. So one of the things that'd be nice for you to measure if you're playing football is how far out and what's the angle at that distance, and how far out and what's the angle, and see where you think the best is, but yet you're still protecting so that you can't come behind you. And I suggested with some of these coaches working with the math teachers that
science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, is a proven and important driver of economies, and this program plays an active part to ensure student success in school, strengthening the cadre of students interested in STEM fields.
Remember, we've only had fancy internet and cell phones for a very short amount of time, and it's going to move faster, and there's more data available than people ever imagined in the past. So how to show people to embrace change, think about the world, and be ready to tackle the variety of things that will be coming that we can't even conceive of is my goal.
The promotion of STEM through sports also aligns with the United States Embassy's youth outreach strategy, as well as CARICOM's youth development goals, which include educational opportunities and sports for all youth. Welcome back. The government of Dominica and the People's Republic of China, PRC, on June 7, 2014, hosted an economic and trade tourism promotion seminar as part of a visit of a delegation from Zhangzhou. The delegation was on island to discuss plans for the twinning of the city of Roseau and Zhangzhou. Recently, the Dominica Labour Party administration announced plans for an uplift of the capital city of Roseau. Speaking at the cocktail, Mayor of Roseau, Her Worship Irene John, pledged the council's full support for the initiative.
Council anticipates endorsement of the twinning agreement between Hangzhou and Roseau, as it is perceived that we share a common interest in tourism, culture, education, and advanced technology, and pledge to collaborate as sister cities.
Zhangzhou is the capital of Xinjiang province and one of the 7 ancient capitals of China. Chinese ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Li Jianying, believed that the seminar would help to enhance mutual understanding and build friendships between the people of Dominica and Zhangzhou.
I believe the friendship and cooperation between the two cities will not only benefit the people of two cities, but also our two peoples. May I take this opportunity to congratulate Her Worship Irene John and Vice Chairman Mr. Zhang Hongjian on reaching agreement to a new page in the relationship between their two cities.
The agreement also seeks to develop tourism and trade between the two cities. Infrastructure, agriculture, tourism, and light manufacturing were some of the other topics discussed during the meeting at Cabinet that preceded the cocktail celebration. Honorable Dr. Colin McIntyre, Minister for Employment, Trade, Industry, and Diaspora Affairs, encouraged all private stakeholders to take advantage of this opportunity.
There are various programs that will be developed in terms of exchange programs where local businessmen can visit China, or people can visit China and look at their form of development. In particular, we speak here of Hangzhou.
10 young persons are now better equipped following the successful completion of a leather craft training workshop on Friday, June 6, 2014. The workshop was organized by Child Fund Caribbean in collaboration with New Beginning Craft Workshop and the West Dominica Children's Federation Incorporation, designed to build the technical, business management, and human relations skills of its enrolled families. Facilitator and proprietor of New Beginning Gifts and Leathers, Vanessa Winston, stated the workshop began on Monday, April 28, 2014.
The objective of the training was to equip these young persons with technical skill in leather accessories, also to improve employability of 10 urban marginalized young adults within a 4-week span. The training was conducted for 5 days per week from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12 noon, during a 4-week period. Technical skills included understanding leather and its uses, an appreciation for and of the appropriate use and care of tools required, identifying the range of leather accessories that can be produced, determine the item trainee would like to produce, production of leather accessories. We also had business skill included to that, where they got pricing, packaging, and presentation, marketing, sales speech, budgeting, group dynamics.
The participants Nikita Carbon, Brandon Dublin, Chanel Ford, Joan John Baptist, Vanessa Webster, Khadija Prosper, Amanda Richards, Shalina Samuel, Annie Xavier, and Sandy Alexis were also taught the fundamentals for personal development. Winston is of the view that the participants are now skilled to create employment for themselves, but they have to take it seriously. Participant Vanessa Webster revealed that although she was doubtful about her participation, she attended the second day of the workshop and never gave up.
I learned different things to do with leather, like handbands, belts, wallets, jewelry, and a little sandal. I would like to see myself going further in this leather crafting business by doing my own designs and products, and yet getting better and better. We had a very loving, helpful, caring group. We had fun. Once again, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity.
The participants were presented with a certificate of completion following an exhibition with the leather items they created during the workshop. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.